Now, we all know that plants absorb plenty of water, but little did we know they're now being used in central London to help stop urban flooding. A 21-metre-high living wall has been constructed in Victoria to help tackle the problem. Martin Stew went to take a look.
Victoria is developing fast. In the next decade, the skyline will be changed by £1.5 billion of investment. But the area's most recent growth has been more organic. This is the 350-metre square living wall on the side of Rubens Hotel, attracting tourists and wildlife.
We've got about 20 species of different plants here. There's about 10,000 plants altogether, about 16 tonnes of soil that have gone into the wall. So you have geraniums, you have cowslips, you have wild strawberries as well in the wall. So if you're a bee or a pollinator or a bird, you'll probably look at this wall right now and thinking, I'm going to come here and forage. This is a fantastic wall for Victoria.
The project has been a major undertaking. 6 weeks of extreme building and gardening, dangling on the end of an abseil rope, 100 foot in the air.
Just give it a good firm prod down.
You need a head for heights, as well as green fingers.
Now, the reason I'm wearing this ridiculous harness is that apparently to get the best view of the scale of this thing, I need to lean over the edge of the wall and try and get a video on my phone. Let's see how it goes.
Just a reminder, this is 10 stories high. The further I inched out, the easier it was to see the size of the living wall. 21 metres high and 35 metres across. 1 in 4 properties in London are at risk of flooding, so walls like this one, which can absorb 100,000 litres, are seen as a green solution to the growing problem.
What you've got here is effectively a huge green sponge. So when it rains, the water is soaked up by the plants, and that removes the rainfall from hitting the streets below, flooding the local area. But it also has several other benefits as well. So the plants here will trap pollutants and fine dust particles and so on, which means that they're being taken out of the air that you and I and everybody around the area will breathe. It also cools the local environment. So hard surfaces will generally absorb and trap heat, but vegetative walls such as this will disperse the heat much more generally. And in winter time, it'll be able to insulate the hotel as well.
Right, Martin, clearly you're fine with heights. That seems like a brilliant idea. Why aren't more people doing it?
Well, I think and hope that we will see more things like that. Maybe not on that scale purely because of the cost of, spending 6 weeks getting those guys up there with 16 tonnes of soil. But we can all do little things, I think. So, plants on roofs, hanging baskets, that sort of thing. As he said, it absorbs the water and then releases it slower. So you stop that sort of flash flooding, which is often the problem in London. They also sort of help with pollution and things like that in the atmosphere. So a really good idea and really quite simple to do. The good news is we don't need to worry about rain this week because the weather's looking really nice.